Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tina, and today I am going to be doing my first ever makeup book tag. So I hope you guys are excited. I am super excited. I was actually excited to do this. I did see Hannah from A Clockworks Reader do this on her channel, so I will link her video down below in the description box. So yeah, if you guys are interested in watching how I created this look, then please keep on watching. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload. Let me know down below if you have any recommendations on books or makeup. I am happy to do anything that you ask of me. So yeah, I do want to apologize in advance. My voice is still cracky and raggy, and I don't know if that even makes any kind of sense or if that's even a word, but it's still pretty bad. I'm still fighting off this cough, but without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the video. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it, and I'm gonna go ahead and start with the first product. I did get this idea from Hannah from A Clockwork Reader here on YouTube. I thought it was a really fun idea to do a makeup book tag, being that I do makeup here on my channel, as well as books reviews, not really book reviews, but okay, yeah, kind of book reviews, and then book hauls. So anything bookish related I do here on my channel, and also makeup related as well. So on her list, it does primer first. I do prime first, but I let my primer sit on my face before I do foundation. So I'll go ahead and do that. And the primer I am using today is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I really love this primer. It really does its job with filling in my pores and blurring out my pores, especially in my T-zone area. So the question for this one was, pick a book that left a lasting impression on you. When I first read this question, the book that popped up in my head excuse me, was The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I know it's circled around booktube already, but honestly, this book is really amazing. I feel like I can connect with the character on more than one levels. I really love Angie Thomas's writing style. She made it really easy for you to understand the characters as far as like her detailing. I feel like I was right there the whole time with the main character. Her name is Star, who recently, or she actually saw her best friend get shot by police, and so she is really battling with trying to find her voice, if she even really wants to speak out about it, because she's so scared. Well, not really, well, she is scared, but it's a complicated situation for her because of where she's from and who she's around. So I really don't want to go into too much detail with this, because I do plan on doing a behind the book here on my channel about this book, and that is when I will give you my full thoughts and opinions about the book. So I did want to include this in my list because I do really think that this was an awesome book, and I'm really glad that I decided to read this. So I'm going to place this all in my T-zone area. So yeah, I decided to choose The Hate You Give as the book that as a book that was a lasting impression on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip to the eyebrows, because I normally do my eyebrows first before I do anything. And the question for that is a book that you think everyone should read. So I decided to choose the first book of a series that I read a few years ago. The eyebrow product I'm using is the Anastasia. So I read this book a little while ago, but I feel like it hasn't really gotten the hype that I feel like it really deserves, and that is the Fallen series by Lauren Kate. Anytime I get a chance to talk about the book, I talk about it. I really want to reread the series, but the only reason why I haven't reread the series is because it's a pretty long series. But anyways, basically it's about a girl who is cursed with reincarnation. So when she turns 16, she will die and be reincarnated into another era, year, you know, time. But the whole storyline is about a forbidden love between her and a fallen angel. So it is definitely a book about fallen angels. Not to say that it's religious or anything like that, but it is about fallen angel. The guy that she is forbidden to love is a fallen angel, and she is also a fallen angel. I believe she's either a fallen angel or she was a mortal girl that is now immortal, or I guess, I don't know, something like that. But anyways, every time she turns 16, she'll die and then she'll be reborn into another time. But the guy that she's in love with, his name is Daniel, and he has to watch her die every single time. And by that I mean, like, anytime she's reborn, he knows when she is reborn, because gravity will pull him towards her to find her, and they will fall in love. And as soon as she turns 16, or any type of touch that they have before her birthday, she will turn into flames and die and be reborn. And there he once again has to watch her die and find her all over again. So that is his punishment, and her punishment is to be reincarnated. But there is so much more to the story, and I honestly feel like this book doesn't get the credit that it really deserves. And I, for one, love the entire series. As soon as I finished the first one, I had to pick up the next one because I needed to know what was going to happen with their love story, and how they were going to break the curse so that they could, you know, finally love one another. So that is it for the book I think everyone should read. It's the Fallen series by Lauren Kate. So the next thing I like to work on is my eyeshadows. So the question for this is, pick a book that has your favorite color on the cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose 5 Feet Apart as my springtime favorite color, because on the cover it does have this corally peach color on the spine of the book, and then also the flowers on the cover of the book. So that's why I chose 5 Feet Apart as my spring cover. The palette I will be using today is my Too Faced palette. This is the chocolate chip palette. The first color I'm going to dip into is, I'm going to just do like a simple look, so I'm going to dip into this like light color right here. This is the matte hazelnut color. I'm just going to dip into that, and I'm just going to place it all over the lid. Just messingly, if that makes any sense, if that's even a word. There's no right or wrong way how I place this. I'm just going to place it all in the lid area. So about the book, it is about 2 patients who have a chronic disease. One has cystic fibrosis and the other one has vesipacia. So it's about a girl who has a cystic fibrosis. Her name is Stella, and Will, who is vesipacia patient. They meet at the hospital that they are currently doing their treatments at, and pretty much they fall in love. But the thing is, they can't be nowhere near each other. They can never touch each other or nothing. So they have to at least stay 5 feet apart from each other, and this is to ensure that they don't contract any infections within one another. So that is pretty tough for them, because they do end up falling in love with one another, and they're really just trying to beat the odds with being able to be with one another, but they know it will never work out. So in the end, they really basically just have to let one another go and just go about their business, and, you know, love each other forever, but realize that they can never truly be with one another. So I dipped into this darker color right here, this one right here. And I'm just going to deepen up the whole eyelid. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to place it all in the crease area and just really just blend it all around in the eyelid area. Alright, so now that I'm done with my eyes, that's pretty much all I want to do today for my eyes. I just want to add some type of dimension to them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my eyeliner. And the eyeliner question is, pick a dark and mysterious book. So there was actually 2 books that came to mind, but I went ahead and went with the one that I kind of found a little bit more dark and creepier than the other. The book I chose was The Winter People by Jennifer McCannon, and the eyeliner I will be using is this NYX liner right here. It's the NYX Glide On Slide On. I'm just going to use this to tight line my waterline, and also I'm going to use it to line the top of my lid. So basically, The Winter People is a paranormal book. It's about a small ghost town, and the 2 main characters in the book are trying to unravel the mystery that's behind the ghost stories in the town. So that's pretty much what they do, is they do investigate and they discover what really happened in the town and why the ghost stories are in play, and come to find out that the ghost stories are really true. It's just not some myth, that they are actually really true stories. So I really enjoyed the book. So now we're going to jump into foundation, and the question for the foundation is, pick your favorite book. Pick your favorite first book in a series. So no surprise here, I went again with the Fallen by Lauren Kate series, and the foundation I'll be using today is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I am in the shade Golden Beige. So I'm gonna go in with my sponge. This is the Real Technique sponge, and I like to work in sections. Okay, so like I said, the Fallen series by Lauren Kate, I really enjoy this book, and like I said, I feel like it doesn't get the recognition that it needs to. In my opinion, I think that this book would be a good read for a lot of people if they would just give it a chance. The only downside I would say about the book is like maybe the 2nd and 3rd, or maybe the 3rd and 4th book. I don't really remember. They're kind of slow, so meaning that they kind of drag on a little bit. Sorry. They kind of drag a little bit, to where you kind of get impatient and you want to like tell them to hurry up and get on with this story. But once you pass that slow part, then it picks back up and then it starts getting really, really good. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be jumping into is concealer, and I'm going to be using the Born This Way concealer, and I'm going to be using the shade Vanilla. The question for this one is, pick a character you wish you could get rid of. So the book I chose was My Sweet Audrina from V.C. Andrews, by V.C. Andrews, and the character I would like to get rid of in the book is her cousin. What is her cousin's name? I can't remember what her cousin's name, but anyway, she is super mean and super cruel the entire time. In the whole entire book, she was super mean and super cool, and there was at one point where she tried to be nice, but she was really tricking Audrina. And oh, Vera, her name is Vera. So yeah, I wish if I could get rid of a character, it'd be her. I would literally push her off a bridge because she was so mean. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna place this underneath my eyes. I'm not gonna do too much of a highlight, like, you know, going down the middle or anything. I'm just gonna really just put this under my eyes only, even though this is a lighter shade. So yeah, Vera is the person I would definitely kick off a bridge because she deserves it. She was super disgusting and mean in the entire book. Okay, so now that I got my concealer laid down and I look really crazy, I'm gonna go ahead and powder. The powder I will be using is, I'm gonna be using 2 powders, and I use a Too Faced translucent powder. I use this to set underneath my eyes, and then I will be using my MAC pressed powder to set the rest of my face. No, I'm not sponsored by Too Faced. I know I use a lot of their products, but their products are really good. So for powder, the question is, pick your favorite last book of a series. So for powder, the book I chose was Darkness Becomes Her by Kelly Keaton. That is another book series that I don't hear much about, and I wish I did. But in this story, it's about mythical creatures. The main character is Ari, and she is the descendant from Medusa. But not only does it contain mythical creatures, it also talks about other monsters such as vampires, and then it also talks about witches and warlocks in this story. So in this story, Ari doesn't know that she is the descendant of Medusa. All she knows is she's definitely different because she has silver hair and purple eyes. Ari finds out that she is the descendant of Medusa and that she has to figure out how to control her powers, along with figuring out how to defeat Athena and just really be free of the whole entire curse. So I highly recommend you guys read the book. It's really good, especially if you're into like Greek mythology, vampires, witches, and stuff like that. So the question for the mascara is, pick a long book. So I decided to choose Cinder from Marissa Meyers. The mascara I am using is, where is it? Oh, this Tarte one. It's the travel size, or the sample size. It's the Man Eater by Tarte. If you haven't read Cinder, it is a Cinderella retelling, but in this story, Cinder is the main character, and she is part cyborg and part human, who happens to get involved in some serious stuff with the Lunar Queen. So yeah, she ends up finding things out about herself that she didn't know, and it puts her in a bad situation. So she pretty much has to choose her fate, either stay there and die or break out and, you know, try to win something totally bigger than her. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about that, because if you haven't read the book but plan on reading the book, I don't want to give any spoilers, but I did choose Cinder as the longest book because it was long for me. The next question, we are going to be doing blush. So with blush, it says, pick a book that had some cringe-worthy romance. So the book I chose for this was 5 Feet Apart, yet again. I'm not saying that the romance in the story was cringe-worthy in a bad way. I feel like it was cringe-worthy in a cheesy way. It was pretty much, going into the book, you pretty much already knew what to expect. So it wasn't something that was like, it wasn't something that was surprising. So that's what I mean by cheesy. You kind of knew because they're two teens, so obviously you know that they're gonna fall in love. And the color, the blush I am using is the one from ColourPop. This is in the Count Me In. So the next thing I'm gonna work on now is the highlight. And for this question, it's pick a book that brightened your day. The book I chose for that is Always and Forever, Lara Jean by Jenny Han. So if you haven't read this book or any of the other books to it, I suggest you read the books. I think they are so cute. It's another high school romance, but in this one they go through their ups and downs. So the reason why I chose this is because in the end I kind of thought that they were Lara Jean and Kavinsky were going to end their relationship, or it was just going to be over because of the whole situation in the book. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because if you are trying to read this book, I don't want to ruin it for you, but I will say I was very happy with the ending. I am rooting for this couple, so I am gonna just say that and nothing more. So highlight I am using is the Anastasia Amrezy highlight. It's a pretty gold highlight, and I'm just gonna place this on the apples of my cheeks. Last thing is lips. So the question for the lips is your favorite book kiss. The story I chose for the book kiss, or the book I chose for my favorite book kiss, is gonna be, of course, the Fallen series, because like I said, Luce and Daniel have this forbidden love, and they can't touch because of their curses, but somehow this reincarnation with Luce that they didn't think was possible, but you know, Daniel is kind of standoffish with her present self, and he already knows what's gonna happen if he gets too close. They're called. These are the Tardiest lip paints, and this is in the shade Birthday Soup. This is my absolute favorite one. It's my all day. It could be my all day lip wear because it's just a subtle nude, and there's something about her present self that he doesn't know and she doesn't know, that, but it allows them to kiss. And find, like, in the whole book, he's really standoffish and really mean to her because he's trying to like push her away so that way she doesn't fall in love with him. And it's kind of hard for him to do that because he loves her so much that he just wants to grab her in his arms and just like hold her forever, but he knows he can't do that. But somehow in her present self, her former self, it allows them, they discover that it allows them to be able to hug and kiss. So when they finally kiss, after him being so rude and mean and like just ugly to her, like they finally just like kiss. I'm just like, oh my gosh, finally after all this time, like they kiss and nothing has happened. And that is it, you guys. This is my first ever book makeup and book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to keep it short and simple and not get too in depth with the books, and just kind of give you the reason why I chose the books. If you enjoyed the video, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps. It really helps. Also subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know down below if you did like the video and if you've read any of the books that I mentioned here on my channel today. But anyways, thank you guys again for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.